Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Well, I also told you over the weekend in tweets and in comments and in videos that if you think the Russian aircraft killing 92 that crashed over Sochi went down on its own, I got a bridge I want to sell you. Obama said that they would, quote, respond to Russia in their own time, their own way. They've given a ton of surface-to-air missiles of the Stinger variety to the, quote, rebels. There are more than 50,000 of these babies that have been sold just since the 1990s, the third world countries. The Islamicists have a ton of them. You know, they shot down the Israeli plane, and they shot down the Egyptian plane, and they shot down the Russian plane over Egypt a few months ago, and now another one's been shot down, and the media tried to say that wasn't terror, and Russia tried to say it at first because they don't want to be drawn into a larger war, till the jihadis released the video. This was the beloved Christmas choir that's one of the most popular groups in Russia. Russia is really into classical music and Christmas music. Some of the most beautiful music obviously comes out of Russia and also Germany. That's where you got the real histories of classical music, and was blown out of the sky in a direct provocation, just like the Russian ambassador was killed and 2 other Russian diplomats. Now we learn on the same day. Now the head banker, auditor general of NATO, found killed and not with his own firearm, dumped behind a building in Belgium. So there is definitely a hot war going on between intelligence agencies and killing, tit for tat, going on in the last 24 days with Obama in. And Obama admits, in fact, I meant to cover this Friday, but it came out after the show was over. You guys pulled me the article, Obama putting a shadow government in. And that's why Trump's asking for names of all the new appointees and political appointees. He wants to do a purge. He's got to do it, of the weevils that have infiltrated everything. So Putin's now ordered an inquiry day of mourning after military jet disaster kills 92 in Black Sea. And, of course, they're having to open it up and say, okay, it could be terror, because no one's buying the fact that it isn't. But, again, the Russians are just waiting for Trump to get in. They know there's major provocations. Putin's come out and said this. Their foreign minister said this. Their intelligence chief has said this, the one that replaced their last head of all intelligence, the equivalent of our Clapper, saying it's clearly a false flag to make us break up our coalition with Turkey, Iran, and Syria, and make us get in a wider war with Turkey now that Turkey has sided with Russia in the last few months. And then Putin came out this weekend and also said that he'd previously been told by intelligence operatives on 3 different sides that it was a globalist operative in one of the aircraft in Turkey that shot down the Russian fighter bomber. He said he now believes that is the case. So how's the mainstream media feel? It used to false flags, staged events, self-inflicted wounds, inside jobs. In the past were things that only historians knew about, or people that worked in dirty tricks in black ops. You had to be an Army captain assigned to Special Forces group until recently to even be taught about false flags. And that's in the Army. I began to popularize all these terms in the mid-90s. They cannot stand the fact I do it. Like InfoWars. Who knew what InfoWars was in 1996? Almost no one. Now, Congress talks about it every day. And I'm here to put out the definition so people can know what they're being hit with. That's why they can't stand it. You have English teachers, you have Latin teachers, you have Spanish teachers, you have Mandarin Chinese teachers, you have German teachers, you have Portuguese teachers. You have folks that can teach you different Native American dialects. I'm here teaching people how the globalists operate, how they work, and what they do. Because in fictional movies, evil tyrants don't want you to have their battle plans. Like Star Wars, Rogue One. The whole thing's about trying to get the Death Star plans. And in reality, the New World Order doesn't want you to know their weapon systems' flaws or vulnerabilities. But in the real world case of what's unfolding, they act like you're an animal, and they write thousands of books and thousands of white papers and have thousands of meetings and tens of thousands of quotes admitting their entire stinking, anti-human, selfish, devilish, degenerate plan. And I'm here saying, here's their plan, here's how they operate, here's what they do. Now, the childlike public 20 years ago on average didn't want to listen to me because it sounded like, foreign language. But the military and the police were listening. And I never knew it would work like that. I thought the general public would care and get involved, and some did. You're the exceptional folks out there. Doesn't matter what color you are. You resonated, you cared, you got informed, you shared info, we all grew together. But you were a minority. But not in the military, not in the police, not in intelligence agencies. They would tune in and say, well, a lot of this is stuff I don't even get till higher levels of decompartmentalization. So people started tuning in to find out what was really going on, and then we started getting better information from people higher up, giving us a fuller and fuller battle space as we reverse engineered the New World Order program. And that's what InfoWars is. And that's why it's got the Russians listening. Folks, I knew Vladimir Putin listened on a routine basis and got bull-down reports on my show 10 years ago. That's not bragging. I would not talk about that 10 years ago because it sounded ridiculous. I knew that foreign leaders in England were getting briefings 10 years ago. 10 years ago, they've got metrics and algorithms and computers, not just the United States, that can see trends. And they knew, just like 6 years ago, the billionaire lady that I ran into at a law firm. And I looked up who she was later, and she was one of the richest women. I'm not going to get into it. She said, you're going to be the hottest thing in the world. And I said, why? She goes, because what you're saying is dead on. And it's all going to start coming true, and your credibility is going to skyrocket. Bye, I'm leaving to New Zealand and the Cook Islands. So is the revelation of what's going on from the enemy's own arrogant statements enough to get people to be concerned? This is not me saying they want to tax the internet and shut down free speech. Cass Sunstein, 10 years ago, wrote 2 white papers. He proposed it 8 years ago when Obama first got into office, and it was shot down by Rolling Stone and Salon. Back when liberals were still liberals to a certain extent and were not promoting pedophilia. That's what Salon does now. 8 years ago, they said, it's spine-chilling, it's horrible, we've got to stop it. What is going on with Obama? Now they talk about how hot 5-year-old girls are. Can't make this up. They're fully captured. That's why we're in such danger, people. Where is the old-fashioned liberal that was concerned about a police state or concerned about wars? They love wars now. And they've merged with the globalists and the neocons and the rhinos, and it's created just a delusional group of Fruit Loops hell-bent on war, and they're trying to start one with Russia, and I'm going to get to that coming up after I hit AI technology and other news. But first, ladies and gentlemen, I cut an ad this morning, and I'm so busy I can't recut it. It's going to be running throughout the week, where I list items that have sold out, and where I point out that free shipping is going to be extended until New Year's Day, and then I've got to stop, and how we're going to keep the 50 to 30% off store-wide on everything. Since I cut that ad a couple hours ago, we have sold out of Silver Bullet that was 50% off, and Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste with colloidal silver and iodine added. Oh, that's an amazing product, developed by a former dentist and oral surgeon and chemist, my dad. Made by the biggest manufacturer of toothpaste in the country. That is the organic type. Everybody knows their name. What we're not supposed to is private labeling say it, because we aren't supposed to for whatever reason. The point is that DNA Force is sold out. Secret 12 methylcobalamin is selling out. Biome Defense sold out. But that's the 50 billion living probiotics. We have the half strength that's half price. The 25 billion is just as good. It's just a smaller pill. We still have that. So that probiotic, the very best out there, it's not sold out. Survival Shield X2 selling out. Lung Cleanse selling out. Living Defense selling out. Child Calm sold out. But we've got Knockout hasn't sold out. Vitamin Mineral Fusion hasn't sold out. Liver Cleanse hasn't sold out. Anthroplex hasn't sold out. Super Male Vitality hasn't sold out. Prostagard hasn't sold out. Just take Prostagard. It is less than the leading saw palmetto thing you hear advertised all over radio and TV. It's the same dose as that for roughly half the price with, what is it, 9 or 10, I forget, other ingredients known to give you a healthier prostate and other glands as well. It's a Rolls Royce for almost half the price. It's a little more than half the price of the leading competitor. And the leading competitor is the same dose of saw palmetto and then a bunch of filler. No filler in ours, $24.95. Normally 30-something bucks, but it's discounted right now. You cannot beat Prostagard. Every man above 40 should be taking it. In fact, saw palmetto is one of the few things that even doctors in the Food and Drug Administration say, no, you can say saw palmetto is good for your prostate because it's so good. But this isn't just saw palmetto. It's a bunch of other ingredients that synergistically work together. It blows people away. You want health? You want a lot more than that, quite frankly. I'm going to stop right there. Get on ProstaGuard today. You can call toll-free 888-253-3139. But we're extending free shipping until the 1st. In fact, let's put it up there because it triggers, folks. The Christmas tree, a video shot that Zimmerman got of the Christmas tree down by the Capitol here in Austin, Texas. They're so mad about the word Christmas. They're so upset about it. They're so angry. They are running around foaming at the mouth saying, don't use that word. It shows what a cult of sniveling mental patients they are. So Christmas is extended to throw it in the mental patients' faces. Free shipping, store-wide, support the InfoWar, get high-quality products, help us go into the new year with the funding we need to battle the globalists. And so we also don't have a bunch of inventory, which we get charged a state tax on. For inventory in Texas, that is big. Yeah, Texas doesn't have an income tax, but it's got a bunch of other crap. Franchise taxes and inventory taxes. Texas isn't perfect, folks. I want to make it better. I want Vermont open carry. Just, you're not a criminal, you got an open carry right. Anyways, I'm digressing. InfoWarsLife.com is the nutraceuticals. The supplements, InfoWarsStore.com is the umbrella site. Hillary for Prison 2017 with Soros on the back saying deport him. Soros is a little goblin. We also have the Trump is my president, a few sizes left in that, in red. We also have a lot of other great products. InfoWarsStore.com, free shipping store-wide. All right, I'm done plugging. Take advantage of that through the new year, and we're doing that because it's been so popular. People like it. They appreciate it. And we have not sold out of everything, so we're going to keep it full tilt boogie until the end of the year. Okay. Let me do this so I can just take a break and then get focused when we come back. Because I'm very focused right now, but what happens is I get too focused. I have swimming in my brain right now. Hundreds of articles that I've looked at in the last day that I want to go into. It's all just over the top. I mean, right now, I'm so stunned that they actually kept the strongest provisions in the anti-free speech bill and have created a ministry of truth where the, quote, board of governors of the FCC, Federal Communications Commission, is going to take over all communications in the U.S., including internet kill switches, you name it, and start controlling the filters, deciding what sites you can go to, what articles you can go to. And they're installing Snopes, a lady, her husband, and their cat, and a mail-order diploma company that has 6 employees in Florida, as well as PolitiFact with all its leftist leanings, over who will decide in this new federally funded board fines, lawsuits, fees, filters, regulations, blocks, everything Cass Sunstein called for. It's just so mind-blowing. But I'm going to get into that word for word in the next hour. We've got professors all over the United States saying it's time to murder all the white people. It's time to kill all the white people. We'll be better off when all the whites are dead. And then I see a new article on it every day with a new guy, and they're almost all white. And then I realize, I don't want to even do, it doesn't do justice if I read one person saying this. What about all the professors that teach classes like The Problem with Whiteness, and who openly say whites are a disease, they're inherently evil? I mean, this is the biggest load of crap, the most racist, insane garbage, and it's being implanted onto the minorities that are just people like everybody else who will be just as backward, just as knuckle-dragging, just as oppressive as any group of whites that's ever been oppressive. And then you know the whole world's history is a bunch of different groups oppressing each other, and color has nothing to do with it. If anything, the West has been more altruistic and more liberal and more empowering. I mean, it has just reached crazy town levels. And it's all being pushed in the name of fighting racism. And it's federally globalist funded to create absolute total divide and conquer. We've got breaking report. John Kerry is working on another UN resolution that would officially recognize a Palestinian state. People say, oh, that's reasonable. Let Palestinians have their own state. It's going to cause massive uprisings and an entire explosion. And then there's no room in the Gaza Strip or the Golan Heights. None of the surrounding countries like Saudi Arabia or Jordan or Syria actually want that. And they've been funding an invasion of Syria for 6 years, sending in Sunni settlers into Syria. But nobody cares about that, the 300,000 people they've murdered. We're promoting freedom and prosperity. Americana, the sexiest thing this planet ever produced. Not perfect, but a hell of a lot better than what other countries had. Because we expropriated all the good and tried to throw the bad to the side. Doesn't mean we were perfect. But they're now selling global poverty and global pain and global austerity. It's not hard to beat that if we've got a platform to challenge it. And the globalists thought the internet would be their system of control. It blew up in their face. I'm going to open the phones up in the next hour ahead of Matt Bracken, former Navy SEAL, best-selling author, to look at the next 24 days and how he believes they may try to destabilize things to stop Trump from getting into office or have him go into such a crisis that they can take control of his administration before he ever gets in. Clearly, they're killing Russian diplomats. Clearly, they're trying to start a war with Russia, shooting down this aircraft. I predicted hundreds of times you'd start seeing in the Black Sea, in the Mediterranean, aircraft being shot down by ISIS/Al-Qaeda, al-Nusra. We've seen 3 Russian passenger liners in the last year blown up. And in 2 cases, the jihadis released the video of the missiles being fired. Putin does not want to promote this, but he is investigating it. They're trying to say it's not terror, they hope, because they don't want to have to be goaded into a response. They're hoping things change once Trump gets in. The problem is there's so many sleeper cells and globalist operatives in NATO and in our own military, and so many Arabists and others, that we're not out of the woods by a long shot. I'm going to tie this into Kerry. I'm going to tie this into Israel. I'm going to tie it into the cold facts, not which side we want to take here. Because I've got issues with things Israel's done. I've got issues with the Palestinians. Most of the Palestinians are just Sunni invaders. They're trying to take over lands. They couldn't take over Israel. So they're now trying to take over Syria. They're murdering Shiites and Christians and others en masse, and there's nobody crying for them. Our same media saying Israel's illegitimate, our same media saying have UN resolutions against it, in Hollywood, is the same media that cheerleaded hundreds of thousands of Syrian people being killed when Wahhabists invaded from all over the world, from Chechnya to Pakistan to Qatar to Saudi Arabia. And now it's up on Infowars.com. John Kerry is working on another UN resolution that would officially recognize a Palestinian state. And Michael Schneider of the Economic Collapse blog links to all the actual statements where they admit the resolution is being prepared. And the Times of Israel says that Netanyahu is also anticipating it. I know it's trendy to hate Israel. I know it's really cool with the right wing and left wing. I'm not an enemy of Israel, even though I've been attacked by the Israeli lobby that does go around bullying. That said, though, I'm not siding with the Islamicists that are running around having their kids suicide bomb. I'd go to hell before I do that. So just because a bunch of leftists in the whole Israel lobby lie about me and stuff doesn't mean I'm falling to their level or to the level even below that of the crazy frickin' Islamicists. InfoWars has more than 15 YouTube channels and about 3 million subscribers. Our main channel has 1.854 or 1,854,000 plus subscribers. Now, they've been gaming the system for a long time to shut down nationalistic or patriotic media, saying we're right-wingers, saying we're extremists. Well, it doesn't matter who we are. We have a right to free speech, don't we? As long as we don't violate the rules. Well, now Zuckerberg has come out and said he's going to restrict conservative news like Communist China does, calling it fake news. And Google, that owns YouTube, has announced, and they've done it now 2 weeks ago, that they're going to basically make you click the bell in your notifications. We're going to show you how to do that, or you won't get all the channels that you've subscribed to, and you won't get the videos. Now, why are they doing this? It's more than just censoring. They want you to see the videos that they feed you below and beside the videos you're looking at that are corporately sponsored so they make more money. They're taking the you out of YouTube. So we're in this information war, and it's more important than ever that you promote the videos, that you like the videos, and that you send them on to others. Because the answer to the attempt to shut us down and restrict free speech that's openly now happening is for us to redouble our efforts. We're winning the culture war as true classical liberals that made this country great. We're restoring the Renaissance. So again, if you want to get our videos, so you can make your decision whether you want to see them or not. After all, that's why you subscribed. YouTube's had this since they started 12 years ago or whatever it was. And they're fundamentally changing it so you don't get it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is promoting fake news and trash news and establishment news. It's killing real independent news. But we, the people, by taking action, can break the back of this system. So please click on the bell so you get the notifications and so you get in your feed the videos and channels you've subscribed to. I'm Alex Jones for Infowars.com.
The Alex Jones Show, because there is a war on for your mind.
Well, I also told you over the weekend in tweets and in comments and in videos that if you think the Russian aircraft killing 92 that crashed over Sochi went down on its own, I got a bridge I want to sell you. Obama said that they would, quote, respond to Russia in their own time, their own way. They've given a ton of surface-to-air missiles of the Stinger variety to the, quote, rebels. There are more than 50,000 of these babies that have been sold just since the 1990s, the third world countries. The Islamicists have a ton of them. You know, they shot down the Israeli plane, and they shot down the Egyptian plane, and they shot down the Russian plane over Egypt a few months ago, and now another one's been shot down, and the media tried to say that wasn't terror, and Russia tried to say it at first because they don't want to be drawn into a larger war, till the jihadis released the video. This was the beloved Christmas choir that's one of the most popular groups in Russia. Russia is really into classical music and Christmas music. Some of the most beautiful music obviously comes out of Russia and also Germany. That's where you got the real histories of classical music, and was blown out of the sky in a direct provocation, just like the Russian ambassador was killed and 2 other Russian diplomats. Now we learn on the same day. Now the head banker, auditor general of NATO, found killed and not with his own firearm, dumped behind a building in Belgium. So there is definitely a hot war going on between intelligence agencies, and killing, tit for tat, going on the last 24 days with Obama in. And Obama admits, in fact, I meant to cover this Friday, but it came out after the show was over. You guys pulled me the article, Obama putting a shadow government in. And that's why Trump's asking for names of all the new appointees and political appointees. He wants to do a purge. He's got to do it, of the weevils that have infiltrated everything. So Putin's now ordered an inquiry day of mourning after military jet disaster kills 92 in Black Sea. And, of course, they're having to open it up and say, okay, it could be terror, because no one's buying the fact that it isn't. But, again, the Russians are just waiting for Trump to get in. They know there's major provocations. Putin's come out and said this. Their foreign minister said this. Their intelligence chief has said this. The one that replaced their last head of all intelligence, the equivalent of our Clapper, saying it's clearly a false flag to make us break up our coalition with Turkey, Iran, and Syria, and make us get in a wider war with Turkey now that Turkey has sided with Russia in the last few months. And then Putin came out this weekend and also said that he'd previously been told by intelligence operatives on 3 different sides that it was a globalist operative in one of the aircraft in